Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our online accounting programs information session, where we will discuss our accounting programs at the master, bachelor, and certificate level. My name is Chloe Silva, and I am an enrollment specialist. And with me today, I have Tracy Souza, who is also an enrollment specialist as well. On today's session agenda, we will do an introduction to online learning, an overview of our programs, admission requirements, how to finance your education, some helpful resources, and questions and discussions at the end. UMass Dartmouth Charlton College of Business is AACSB accredited for adhering to high standards of quality faculty, research with real world impact, and rigorous benchmarks for program quality. Globally, less than 6% of universities with business degree programs have this AACSB accreditation. So we are very highly accredited, which is why we're recognized by top employers and other universities for our programs. We're also ranked top 28% in the nation for undergraduate business programs by the US News and World Report ranks. And the Charlton College of Business earns the fourth highest ranking among New England public business schools, according to the US News and World Report. So, what is asynchronous learning? Basically, it just means that you are not required to log on at a certain time for your courses. So, there's no 8 a.m. Zoom calls or anything like that. At the beginning of the semester, you're going to receive your syllabus, which will outline all of the due dates for your semester. You want to make sure you're logging on to submit your assignments in on time. But when you're logging on to do that is very flexible. So if you prefer to do it in the morning, if you prefer to do it at night, if you want to dedicate certain days a week, it's very, very customizable and flexible for your schedule. What's great about this is even though you're doing it from your own home, you're not disconnected in any way. So you're being taught by the same full-time faculty who teach our on-campus students. You're getting the exact same education, resources. You can communicate with your classmates through discussion boards and group projects. So even though you're at home, you're not disconnected at all. There's also office hours, everything that an on-campus student would have in terms of resources, you also have as well. You're never required to come onto campus, but if you live locally, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to use our library or go to our campus center, you have access to our campus just as any of our on campus students would as well. So it's great if you're working, if you have other responsibilities, and you want to prioritize going back to school. This asynchronous format allows you to do that. So, why pursue a degree in accounting? So, the demand for accountants is on the rise with four major career paths. This is public accounting, management accountant, government accountant, and auditor. Now, our degree for Charlton College of Business prepares students for professional certification. So, if you're looking to get your CPA, your CMA, or your CFE, we have the pathways that will allow you to meet those certifications. So, which will then allow you to have career advancement opportunities by having this master's degree in accounting through UMass Dartmouth. So, the Charlton College of Business, we offer a few different accounting tracks. So, we have our Bachelor's of Science in Accounting, we have our Master's of Science in Accounting, and then we also offer two certificates in accounting. You can do this at both the graduate and the undergraduate level. Again, we are AACSB accredited, so we are globally recognized by top employers in other universities. So having a degree from the Charlton College of Business definitely makes you stand out when it comes to applying to jobs or potentially other schools. So, the Bachelor of Science in Accounting, who should enroll? So, this is for students who do not currently hold a bachelor's degree. Maybe you took a few classes at a community college or a different college. Maybe you took a break, now you want to come back. So, this is basically for students who have not have a bachelor's degree. You may have some previous college experience, you may not. It's not required. Or it could be students who maybe you completed an associate's degree in any field and now you want to, continue and get your bachelor's in accounting. So overall, who should enroll is if you do not have a bachelor's degree, you can enroll for this program. What are the requirements? You need 120 college credits required to earn a bachelor's degree. 90 college credits may transfer into the program from accredited institutions. So we have a very generous transfer policy. Say you got your associates, or maybe you went to a different school prior and maybe you didn't get your associates, we can accept up to 90 transfer credits that can be applied to your 120 degree requirements. So for the accounting curriculum at the bachelor's level, you can see the list of courses. You're going to do principles of accounting, cost accounting, auditing, taxation, economics, finance, statistics. So you're going to get a little bit of everything in there. You're going to do information systems. You're going to take some leadership class, legal framework courses, marketing. So you're going to get a touch of everything in this degree. Again, 120 credits required to earn your BS in accounting, and up to 90 credit transfer credits can come into this program. So we also offered a accelerated online program. So this is if you are currently getting your bachelor's in accounting and you want to start early to get your master's in accounting. You can do this at the undergraduate level. So the benefits to doing this is it will allow you to take 3 graduate level courses, which would be 9 credits, while pursuing your bachelor's degree. By doing so, you're allowed to use both, have those 3 courses be applied to your undergraduate requirements and your graduate requirements. So it allows you to double dip and start your master's degree while completing your bachelor's degree requirements. Another plus to this is you're paying the undergraduate tuition rate for those 3 classes. So not only does it save you time in the long run because you already have 3 graduate courses done, you're also going to save money because you're going to pay an undergraduate rate instead of the graduate rate for those 3 classes. And then you can complete the master's degree whenever you're ready. So say you're in your senior year of your bachelor's degree, you start this program, you take 3 classes towards your master's, and you want a year off before you go back to school. You can do that. You're not committed to, if you take those 3 classes, you're not forced to continue and jump into the master's program right away. If you want to take a year off, you want to take a semester off, you have the flexibility to do that. So there's no commitment to continue if you decide not to. For more information on this, definitely reach out to us and we'd be happy to get you connected and let you know what your next step should be if this is something you're looking to do. So, the Master's of Science in Accounting, who should enroll for this program? So, this is students who hold a bachelor's degree in any discipline. If you have a bachelor's degree in psychology or marketing, it does not matter. You do not need to have a bachelor's degree in accounting in order to enroll into our Master's in Accounting program. It's a minimum of 10 courses, which would be 30 credits. Requirements do range depending on your degree, though. So, it's not a requirement to have a certain bachelor's degree, but depending on what your bachelor's degree was in could determine the number of courses you have to take. So for example, if your previous bachelor's degree was in accounting, then you're most likely just going to do those 10 courses, 30 credits. If your bachelor's degree was in a business major but not accounting, so say you have your bachelor's degree in marketing, then you may be required to do 11 courses, which would be 33 credits. Now, say again, maybe you have your degree in psychology, it's not in business, not in accounting, then you will be required to do 15 courses, which would be 45 credits. So, again, the bachelor's degree you come in with does not um, like prevent you from doing this program. It just may require you to do a few additional courses. So, our Master's of Science Accounting curriculum. So, like I said, minimum's 10 courses. So those 6 required courses are going to be in auditing, federal taxation, accounting for decision makers, financial statement analysis, international accounting, government and nonprofit accounting, and then you'll get to decide between 4 elective courses in the accounting curriculum. For a bachelor's degree with a major in accounting, again, 10 courses, 30 credits. A business degree, say marketing, for example, 11 courses and 33 credits. And then again, non business, let's say psychology, 15 courses, 45 credits. The Masters of Accounting program Meets the requirements for the CPA 150 academic hour requirement for you to sit for the CPA. The Masters of Accounting is the only program and pathway that we offer that will allow you to, that we can assure you will allow you to sit for the CPA exam. So, accounting certificate, who should enroll? So, students who hold a bachelor's degree in any discipline are able to do our accounting certificates. The pro to doing this as well is if you are looking to waive the GMAT requirement, starting with a certificate allows you to do this. So if you haven't taken the GMAT or you're not looking to take it, or maybe you didn't score as high as you would like, starting with this certificate gets rid of that requirement for you. Our undergraduate accounting certificate consists of 10 courses, which would be 30 credits. This does not meet the CPA 150 academic hour requirement unless you complete a business law course. So, a lot of people will come in, want to do that program to sit for the CPA, but that course does not allow you to, we cannot assure you that that course will allow you to sit for the CPA. The graduate accounting certificate consists of 4 courses, which would be 12 credits. Courses with a B or higher will roll into the Masters of Accounting degree program. This certificate as well does not meet the CPA 150 academic hour requirement. However, as I mentioned, if you get a B or higher in these 4 courses, they can be transferred into that master's program. Your GMAT will be waived, and then that master's program, once you complete it, will meet that CPA 150 academic hour requirement. I'm now going to pass it over to Tracy to talk about the CPA education requirement.
Thank you, Chloe. So the CPA education requirement. So if you have an undergraduate accounting certificate, again, as Chloe had mentioned in the previous slide, you will not be able to sit for the CPA with just the undergraduate accounting certificate. You will need to take an additional business law course. So that would end up being 33 credits. And the approximate cost for all of that is $14,850. And that would then allow you to sit for the CPA exam. If you do a Master's of Science in Accounting, you have 30 credits. It is approximately $20,850, and it would also allow you to sit for the CPA exam. But just keep in mind, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, you got to think about what you're going to gain monetarily by having a master's degree over a bachelor's degree and an accounting certificate. So you will be, with the master's degree, you'll have an advantage in the workforce versus the bachelor's in accounting with the accounting certificate. Keep in mind, if you just want the master's in accounting and you don't want to sit for the CPA, you don't have to. You can stop right at the master's degree. So this is not a requirement. You know, you don't have to take the CPA exam. We just know a lot of people are interested in that. And we encourage everybody, if you are thinking about sitting for the CPA exam, to visit the NASBA website for more information, because there are other requirements. Like I know you have to have some kind of work experience and stuff. So we do not control that. Like I said, I encourage you to visit the NASBA for more information about sitting for the CPA. So let's talk about the enrollment process. So how the entire process works to get enrolled for one of our programs is you would apply online. Everything is online. Then you submit your admission documents. Then after you are admitted, you would submit your intent to enroll form. And then if you're going for the undergraduate degree, you'd make an appointment with your academic advising you'd make your academic advising appointment and you would sit with them. And they would map out your pathway to get whatever degree you want. Say it's a certificate, say it's a bachelor's degree, you would meet with them. They'll map that out for you. And they can also help you register for courses. Just please keep in mind that tuition is not due at the time of course registration, so you do not have to worry about that. And you do not have to worry about if you're missing a step or something like that. We, as enrollment specialists, are here to guide you every step of the way. So admission requirements. So required for all applications, again, you need to go online and fill out that application. We do have rolling admissions. So for some reason, if you start your application for the fall, for example, and you don't turn in all your documents by the time the classes start, we will reach out to you and we'll ask you if you want to roll your application into the spring semester. So you don't lose your application fee and all of that. We'll just roll you into the next intake. You will have to pay the application fee. You will have to supply official transcripts from all accredited post-secondary institutions you attended, regardless if you earned a credential in that school or not. And then high school transcripts are required for the bachelor's in accounting program. And that's for if there's no transferable college credits. So if you are coming right into the program as a brand new freshman, you do not have any college under your belt whatsoever, then you would supply the high school transcripts. If you have earned your GED, we would need that official certificate plus your high school transcripts. So anybody who's already taken a bunch of at least 12 credits for their undergraduate or, just 1 or 2, 3, 4 classes, you don't necessarily have to turn in your high school transcripts. So for the graduate application, you would still need to turn in all of the information we just spoke about, but you would also need to turn in a statement of purpose, a resume. You're going to need to supply 2 letters of recommendation. And if you do not go the certificate program, then we have the GMAT would be required, but there is also ways to waive the GMAT. So for example, if you're undergraduate, you had a 3.0 or above, you would be able to waive the GMAT. Once you submit your application, you will be given access to the application portal. And there you will see waiving the GMAT requirement, and you click on that. It's a form and you can see the different ways that you can waive it. And then when you go into that application portal, that's where you would upload your statement of purpose and your resume. You cannot upload official transcripts. You would need to reach out to all the schools that you attended in the past, and ask for official electronic transcripts to be sent to us. And we all use like a parchment services that we upload the transcripts to, and then we'll go in and they'll automatically upload to your application. Also, I want to talk about the 2 letters of recommendation. A lot of people try to get the letters of recommendation up front before they apply, but you do not need to do that. On the application, on the very last page, it's going to ask you for the name and contact information of 2 people that can supply you with a letter of recommendation. And you'll fill out that information, and that will go over to your recommender. They'll get an email and it'll have a link where they can automatically type a letter of recommendation, or they can upload a PDF. The only thing I suggest there is that you reach out to them and let them know that that email is coming, because a lot of times it goes into their spam file. So transfer credits. Again, as Chloe had mentioned in previous slides, you can transfer up to 90 college credits. That's why we ask for all official transcripts, whether you earned a degree or not, because you may have taken 1 or 2 classes, at a university where we could use those transfer credits, and it'll lessen the amount of time that you have to get your bachelor's degree here. So also you don't need, there's no expiration date on transfer credits. So if you took the class 10 years ago, as long as you got a C minus or higher, we may be able to transfer the credits. And the credits have to be earned from a regionally accredited college or university. We do accept CLEP and AP exam credits, so you would just need to reach out to the college board and ask for those official exam results to be sent to us, and then we would take that into consideration. Again, to transfer the classes over, it has to be a C minus or better, and they have to be at the 100 level. So I just want to mention also for those of you who are international students, if you have an international transcript, you would need to get at a professional transcript evaluation. And we recommend CED or WES, and you would just reach out to them. Please tell them that you want a detailed evaluation, which means they will go line by line. They'll list the course that you've taken. They'll list the degree that you got. And then they will list the equivalent in the USA. And then at the very end, it'll convert your GPA from whatever country you had your education in to the equivalent of the American GPA. And it'll also do a degree equivalency. So we can make sure if you have a 3-year bachelor's degree, it's equal to a 4-year bachelor's degree here in the United States. For those of us who were in the military, we encourage you to turn in all your military transcripts because you may be able to get transfer credits for that. So we're going to map out your degree with you. So after you get all of these transcripts in and you've been admitted to the program and you meet with your academic advisor is going to go through all of this information with you and let you know exactly what is transferred over and map a course out for you to complete your bachelor's degree here. So again, academic advising, we just spoke about. So you're going to have one-on-one academic advising. So the way this is going to work is you will complete your application. So you'll turn in all your information. You will have access to your application portal where you can see where your application is at in real time at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When an admission decision has been made, we're going to ask you, you're going to get an email that tells you to log into your application portal. You'll log into your application portal, you'll see your admission decision there, and then you have to accept your admission. So there'll be a form called the intent to enroll form. You'll select yes on that, and then that allows you to make an academic advising appointment. The advisors are the one who go through the transfer credits. So the enrollment specialist cannot do that up front. You need to wait until you get to the academic advising stage. And then you'll be given a dedicated academic advisor again, and they'll support you throughout your career here at UMass Dartmouth, all the way through graduation. You will have the same academic advisor. They will review any transfer credits you have. They'll map out that educational plan. And you can connect with your advisor as often as you want to, but you will need to connect with them at least twice a year because they are going to be registering you for classes. And you can choose how you want to meet with them. Most of our students do it on the phone via Zoom meetings. You can do it in email, you can do it in person, but typically it's over the phone. And they're going to get a copy of that tracking sheet so you can see exactly where you are. Okay, online course schedules. So typically, if you're going to take classes with us, everybody takes classes in the fall and the spring if you want to be considered continuous. But you do have the option to take classes over the summertime, or we have a 3-week session in the winter. So if you take them in the fall and the spring, classes can be broken down by a 7-week session or a 14-week session. And again, that just depends on the class that's being offered and who is teaching the class. So sometimes you might see one class and it's offered 2 different ways, and then you'll get to decide. But I just want you to know that those two options are out there for you. In the summertime, there's more flexibility in classes, are in 3-week sessions, 5-week sessions, and 7-week sessions. And then in the winter, we call it the winter break session. That is a 3-week session, and it's after the fall session ends and before the spring session starts. It's a 3-week session. Please keep in mind that it's very rigorous. It's 15 weeks of classes condensed down to 3 weeks worth of material. So it's very, very, very compact. Again, it's programs are designed to support the adult learner. You choose how many courses you want to take and what semesters you want to attend. And it doesn't have to be the same every semester. So, you might be slow at your job for one semester and you can take 2 classes or 3 classes, and then it might be very busy at tax season, things like that, and you can only take 1 class. So it's very, very customizable. We keep that in mind that the adult learner has very, very busy lives. Okay, so tuition and fees for the undergraduate program. So this is per credit. So it breaks down to approximately $460 a credit. And why this varies there, as you can see, the college fee is different. So if you have to take a class in arts and sciences versus a class in Charlton College of Business, that college fee is going to be different. So that's why it's a little different there. So just average in about $460 a credit. And these are the most updated prices that we have. And that would last throughout the 25-26 school academic year. And for graduate, so graduate's a little bit different. The classes are $695 a credit. And again, it's about 30 credits. And again, this is the most updated information that we have, lasts throughout the 2025-2026 academic year. So you can try to budget what you have to take. Okay, so financing your education, how are you going to pay for all of this? So we encourage everybody to take advantage of that FAFSA form to fill out. So the federal financial aid form, that'll let us know if you are eligible for any kind of federal grants, student loans, things of that nature. You can see the web address here is on the page. It gives you a lot of information on that page if you go on there. If you're not familiar with filling out the FAFSA form, it can seem very daunting. Go into this website here. They do have little information sessions that you can sign up for or watch when you have time, and it'll guide you on how to fill out the FAFSA form. So once you get into it and start doing it, it's really not that hard if you can follow along and just read what they're saying. So I had to do it a couple of times, and like I said, it wasn't too hard, but at first, when you haven't done it before, it seems daunting. So we have that, and not only does that give you access to the financial aid, the federal financial aid, but it also might open you up to any kind of aid that we have available within our campus. So that's why I encourage everybody to fill out that free financial aid, even if you think you're not going to qualify for it. We do offer payment plans. So if you choose, you can take the cost of the semester and divide it out by the months in the semester, and you can pay monthly. Just keep in mind that you have to pay off the entire balance before you can start another semester. For anybody who's a veteran, I encourage you to look into your veterans, educational benefits. We do have a Veterans Affairs office here on campus, and they can help you navigate through all that's available for you. I also encourage all of you to check with your employer. A lot of times they have tuition reimbursement benefits. So you might have to pay for the class up front, but if you get a certain grade, then they will reimburse you. So look into that option. And then anybody that is undergraduate. So if you're undergraduate, you may qualify for the Ryan Reeves Scholarship for online undergraduate students. You have to have 15 credits from UMass Dartmouth in order to qualify, and a 3.2 GPA. So you can't get it right off the bat because, like I said, you have to have the 15, the 15 credits. But just if you have that 3.2 GPA or higher and you're an undergraduate student, please look into it. The link is right here. It is on our UMass Dartmouth webpage, the online webpage. So that would give you some information there. We also have corporate partnerships. If you work at South Coast Health, Mass General Brigham's, or Amazon, we have a corporate partnership with these three organizations, and you can get a 10% tuition credit. That would be on top of any kind of benefit or tuition reimbursement program that they are offering. So this is through UMass Dartmouth. So keep in mind, you might be able to still take advantage of that tuition remission that a corporation might offer. For anybody that's undergraduate, we also have Success by Degree, which is the 15% tuition credit. And that's for people who have graduated from a community college in Massachusetts or Rhode Island within the last 2 years, and your graduating GPA was a 3.0. So if you graduate and within 2 years you apply and start taking classes, within 2 years of the time you got your associate's degree, you can get a 15% tuition credit. And that isn't just for one semester. That could be for up to 4 full-time semesters, as long as you maintain that GPA. Now, and keep in mind though, if you're eligible for both, so, you just graduated a community college and you're working at a corporate partnership, you can't have both of those discounts. It's one or the other, but we will figure that out for you. So student support services. Keep in mind, although you are an online student, you are considered a UMass Dartmouth student. So anybody that wants to come to campus is welcome to come to campus. They can take advantage of our library. You can also take advantage of the library electronically as well. So if you want research materials, you can go there. But if you prefer to go to the library just to have a quiet place and study, you can do that. We have started a 24/7 tutoring support. So if you're not understanding materials and you really need some support, we have a 24/7 tutoring support. You would make an appointment, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody will be there to help you. And that service is provided for free. It's not an additional cost to you. It's just there to help support you so you are successful. We do have the Office of Student Accessibility and Services, and they will provide educational accommodations for qualifying students. So if you need some help there. And then they will also work with you at the Career Center to help you hone in on your interview skills, help you with resumes, help you look for jobs, things of that nature. Now you can come to campus and do that, or you can do it online. And I also want to let you know that when you are ready to graduate, if you want to come walk across the stage and collect that diploma, you are most certainly welcome to. So keeping in touch, I know this is a lot of information. You will receive a recording of this information session if you would like. But keep in touch with us. This is our general online at admissions.umassd.edu, and that'll go to our general mailbox, and we have somebody manning that all the time. or you can call our online main office number, which is the 999-9202, and the receptionist can put you in touch with your enrollment specialist. So this is going to conclude the information session for today. We're going to stop the recording and answer any questions that anybody might have.